everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, but just before we get into it, I've just got to let you know that this video is presented by EA Game Changers and I did receive a free early access copy of the Sims 4 StrangerVille game pack to go ahead and show you in today's video. So yeah, like I said, this is a build with StrangerVille and this one is a StrangerVille villa. And this was kind of like, I was kind of struggling a little bit to kind of decide what I wanted to build because I was kind of thinking, how can I do something that's maybe kind of a little bit more my comfort zone, I suppose, because my first impressions of this pack was like, okay, this is going to be like so difficult to build with because it's going to be like, you know, just a totally different theme than what I normally do for speed builds, which is great because I do have some other ideas for kind of other types of builds I can do, which will be coming up later today and also over the next couple of days. And this was kind of just one of the ideas that I had, which were just kind of a little bit more normal, I guess you could call it. And yeah, so this home has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, I think it is. Yeah, it's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It also has a study. It also has 2 living rooms as well. So you can see that kind of like a little house, like the little building thing separate on the left there. That's also another living room. There's one in the main part of the house and a big, you know, big dining room and kitchen as well, and also a nice big backyard space as well. So it's a pretty decently sized lot and I managed to get quite a bit in for a 40 by 30. So this is built on the, I can't remember the name of it. You can see it in the top left hand corner, but it's too small on my screen at the minute to see what it says, but I think it's something place. I can't remember what it is, but you can see it. So that's where I built it, and it's kind of in the top of the neighborhood. It's kind of like in the top right, like on the hill. That's why I built this one. And yeah, so also as well, let me know if you have any more ideas for things I can do with StrangerVille. I kind of have all my kind of, you know, videos planned out for the next couple of days, but I can of course, you know, kind of take it into account and do it at a later date as well. So feel free to keep suggesting things if you have any more ideas. I've had a lot of ideas over the last couple of days from a lot of you, so thank you so much for that. And yeah, so I'm currently recording this voiceover on the 22nd. This video isn't going out till the 24th. And then like I said, the pack is coming out on the 26th, and then the 27th it's actually my birthday as well, so lots going on. So we're just going around now doing the kind of structure of the home, and I kind of actually showed a lot of the exterior on this speed build footage bit, because sometimes what I do is when I'm kind of doing like a lot of windows or, you know, repetitive things like that, I'll just cut out the footage, but I kind of just kept recording the whole thing mostly because this build didn't really take me that long, probably about an hour or so to do this build, so that's no time at all really. And yeah, so as you can see, we kind of went for sort of like a Spanish Mediterranean feel to it, I guess you could call it. That's kind of what I got from the kind of stone I chose here, this like orangey toned one. I kind of felt like that fit nicely with this kind of world, and being sort of like a Mediterranean themed world, I guess you could call it, especially this area with all like the sand and stuff like that. And also as well, we've also got some new windows, as you can see, that I'm using today here, which are pretty nice. I wasn't actually expecting to get any windows in this build, sorry, in this new pack, but we did, which is great. I've also got a few new doors as well. I'm not using the new door there, as you can see, that's just a base game one. I didn't really think the door kind of fit well with what I was going for, but there is a lot of doors with the pack as well. And then what other stuff did we get? Well, that's kind of the thing I was going to go on to, because I know some of you will be wanting to know my opinions about the pack, because I'm not going to be doing a pack with you. I'm kind of just going to kind of give my thoughts here. So, so far I haven't really played the game, so I can't really comment on that, because as you know, building is the thing I like to do the most, so I haven't really had a chance to play the game itself, so I can't really comment on that, but through building I have had a little look around at a few of the lots, and they actually look pretty nice. I actually love like the downtown area where like the bar is and stuff. That's kind of really kind of just old and rustic. It looks amazing actually, but I do feel like the actual build mode items are fairly kind of just lacking in this build. There wasn't really a lot to choose from, so in this build you don't see like fully just base game plus StrangerVille. There is other packs in it as well, so you know, that was well, I don't really know. I can't really decide what I think about that, because I feel like we weren't really expecting to get, you know, build items with this pack like as the main feature about it, because of course the storyline about what, you know, StrangerVille and everything, that's kind of the main part of this pack. But as a builder, you know, it is a little bit disappointing, but I wasn't really expecting it to have lots of, you know, new build mode items, but it did make this build a little bit more difficult because of that. But you know, saying that, we have had lots of packs in the past which have had lots and lots of build mode items, and I'm sure we'll get some in the future as well. So I suppose that's, you know, just kind of keeping it sort of like a feature for everyone really. So if you like story play, you know, kind of going along with the storyline, then this might be for you. If you like building more, then maybe this wasn't going to be for you. So, you know, it's got to kind of account for everyone. So I'm not, you know, I don't really mind. But yeah, so we're just going around now doing the exterior, more of the exterior, the backyard area, doing a little bit of train paint here. Now, I do actually think I redid that train paint because I did this over 2 days. So I started on the 21st when I got my code for the pack, and I kind of did a little bit there. And then I kind of came back to, well, today, and finished it off. But when I loaded my game up, all the train paint was gone, which is really frustrating. And I know I'm not the only one that happens to, because it's kind of a common glitch that I've noticed, not just from like this past update, but like for a while now. I know my friend Simkim has talked about a lot in her builds and stuff. I've had it happen to me a few times, but not that many. But you know, nevertheless, even if it's a mansion or a smaller build, it's still really frustrating when that happens. So I had to go back and do that, but it only took like a couple of seconds really, because as I said, it's kind of a smaller lot. So also let me know if you kind of have any opinions about what you think of this pack as well. Is it going to be a pack that you want to kind of get, or is it not for you? I'll kind of, you know, just leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. And also as well, I'm not kind of promising anything, but I probably will have a giveaway for this pack coming up the next few days. I'm not promising, so don't take my word for it, but I'm going to try to. So that might be coming as well. And yeah, so we're just kind of working a little bit on the landscaping. As you can see, we're kind of just jumped around, so we've done a little bit of the interior, we've done a little bit of the exterior. If you're new to my channel, well, I kind of try to stop myself from saying this because I feel like I say it every single build, but since, you know, there might be a chance that some of you will be new today, what I do is sometimes in builds, I kind of just do things in really random orders. So as you saw there, we haven't even finished the exterior, and I've already done a little bit of the interior, and that's just to keep it a little bit more interesting for the speed build video, and also for me building it as well, so it's not so repetitive. So I kind of just like that to switch it up. And I did, well, the reason I started doing this was because with my mansions, which is kind of the main thing I do, what really happened was that the last kind of part of the build was just all the bedrooms, and if there's going to be like 8 bedrooms or something in a mansion, then all you're going to see for the last part of the video is just 8 bedrooms in a row. So that's the reason why I started switching things up in terms of the order of doing things, and everybody seems to like it, so I just kind of keep doing it. So now we're just going around doing a little bit of landscaping and also putting some planter boxes on the windows and ivy and stuff like that. I didn't really go too overkill with the ivy, I just did a little bit of it, because sometimes, you know, sometimes it can just look way too much. I always find ivy one of those things that's kind of difficult to get right sometimes, but you know, there's some areas on this build where it kind of fit nicely, so I did a little bit today. And yes, so this is one of the bedrooms here, as you can see. I wouldn't really say this is a master bedroom, because the other one is a little bit bigger and also has its own fireplace and seating area as well. But you know, this is a nice, decently sized one, and it has a really nice bed as well. So as you can see, this one is a little bit more glamorous looking actually. I wasn't originally going to choose this bed from Get Famous, but it kind of fit in nicely with this kind of theme, so that's what I decided to do. And like I was saying earlier about, you know, being a lack of build mode items in this pack, I couldn't really use, you know, some things here and there, so as like this is a good example of it. Like I couldn't really use the bed from this pack because it didn't really fit this theme, and it's also just one of them. And the same with the living room, we didn't get any new kind of couches or anything like that, so I had to go ahead and use other ones. Same with the kitchen as well. But you know, where I can, I did try to include them, and because a lot of the items in this pack don't really fit a suburban family home type of feel, which is fine, which means I couldn't really use all the items in this build, if that makes sense. But you know, there's some other ones, like the other styles of builds that I can really do with the items in this pack, which will be coming up next as well. So I haven't really kind of fully decided on my schedule for these videos. I'm kind of just recording what I want really, then I'm going to kind of put the schedule together afterwards. But this should be the first one that's going up at 8 AM Pacific Standard Time on the 24th, and then I think I'm going to have another one coming up 2 hours later than this at 10 AM Pacific Standard Time, and I think that'll be it for today, because sometimes in the past I've done like 3 or 4 videos and that always seems to be too much and people end up missing them. I like 1 or 2 of them if there's too many, so I'm probably just going to stick to 2 today, and then tomorrow will also be 2, maybe the next day there'll be 2 as well, and then I'll kind of just go back to my normal schedule after that, but I'll just have to see. Always kind of, you know, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because I kind of keep you up to date there. Both my usernames there are RealThomasTV1, same as my Origin ID, and talking about Origin ID as well, I think I mentioned this at the start, but like I said, this won't be up on the gallery yet. I'm going to wait until the pack comes out, which is the 26th, and then I'll start uploading them. So you'll see that then. And yeah, so right now we're just working on the gazebo area there, as you can see. I always like to include one of those with a glass roof in the back garden area if the space for it, because it's kind of just like a nice area where it's sort of like still outside, but it's also covered as well if it's like raining or anything, and you still want to be outside, then that's, you know, a good kind of use for that, I suppose. Now this room here is kind of just in the hallway, really. It's kind of like a really random room. It kind of just was an unusable space, really, because it wasn't really any purpose for it. So as you can see, there's like the two back doors, well, the back door and the side door, I guess I could call it. So I kind of just made it into a normal, like, just sitting room, really. It's kind of nothing really special. And yeah, so you can also see as well that we're using those stone kind of flooring, not all the way through the pack, all the way through the build, just in like the hallway areas and stuff, and on the outside porches and stuff. Just kind of thought it looked nice and kind of fits that sort of Mediterranean feel a little bit better. And yeah, so we're just working on one of the bathrooms now. As I said, there is 2 bathrooms in this build, but I'm only going to show one, because, well, sometimes I don't even show any of them because I always do my bathrooms the same. But I thought, you know what, I'll show you one of them today, and that was the bigger one. There's one. Is it downstairs or upstairs? I think they're both upstairs, actually, and the other one's a little bit smaller. Oh no, actually it's downstairs, yeah, in the back. And yeah, so right now we're just working on the kitchen dining room. As you can see, this kitchen is pretty huge, actually. So this will probably be a good place for Sims that like to cook. So if you don't have a sim like that though, you could maybe take out the iron counter, maybe reduce the size of it a little bit, and even just put like a piano in, because I'm doing this a few times actually. When there's a space for it in dining rooms, I like to put a piano in, because I feel like it adds like a little bit more of a formal look to it, and it's also good for like dinner parties and stuff as well. So that's an option there. If you want less space in the kitchen, then you can do that. But also put a bar in here as well. I think there's actually a few bars in this build. There's one in this kitchen, there's one in the kind of outhouse thing where the living room is, where you go through the side door, across the little balcony thing, well, the porchway to the other side, that like separate building. I think there's one in there, and I think there's one somewhere else as well. I can't think where it is, but you know, so there's plenty of bars there. And yes, so you can also see that this room has a glass roof at the back there with those big windows. I really like those kind of modern extensions, actually. I think they look kind of nice sometimes, and it adds a lot of light and stuff, and especially for a dining table sitting there, it'd be nice looking out the view and stuff. So that's what we're doing here, and we're pretty much finished with the build, really. We kind of just got a few other little things to do, including the study, which was actually, the study room is a little bit of an awkward shape, and you'll see that in a second. So it isn't the most exciting room, but you know what, it's got what you need in it. We've also got this last bedroom to do, which I forgot about. So this is the one which I would probably class as the master, because it's you know, a little bit bigger, and I just have the little fireplace as well, with a seating area, which we'll be working on in a second. So I did go ahead and kind of, well, what I do a lot is with my builds in bedrooms is kind of use some like the outside exterior wall coverings and kind of bring it inside as a feature wall. So you can see what I've done there with the brick and also the orange one. Now the orange one, I'm not really too sure what I think about that behind the bed. I mean, it kind of looks okay. It's a pop of colour, but if you want to take it out, because I suppose it doesn't really fit perfectly with the colour scheme, you could easily go ahead and do that. You can also see that there's a little bit of a glitch there with the fence. I went ahead and put some fence around the stone there, like on the bottom of the fireplace, and just kind of separate a little bit from the carpet, but it kind of made a really weird glitch with the fence in that room for some reason, so I just had to go ahead and take it out. And this is the study that was on about, and we'll also go ahead and put one of those new fitness machine things that we've got with this pack as well in here, as the space for it. And yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this voiceover up in just a second. We've got one last room to do, which is that little outhouse thing. I don't really know what you would call it. And in that room, it's just more of like an informal type of living room, I guess you could call it. So it has like the TV here, nice, you know, comfy couches, and also has the bar area, like I mentioned before. And I also think I put a dining table, a dartboard in here as well. I'm pretty sure I did that. Just so, you know, for some extra activities to do. And yes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this voiceover up here. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll leave it with a screenshot. If you have any more suggestions for builds or anything else you want to see with StrangerVille next, that'd be really helpful to hear. Make sure you leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and this will be up on the gallery from the 26th, so make sure you head over there. My origin ID is RealThomas. You want to download it if you want to, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!